Alright, so I did a community post on the channel a couple of days ago. Well, last week. And I made mention of the fact that, hey, it's been a couple years since I did a top 10. Maybe it's time to extend it out, maybe a top 20. It's 2 years and 40,000 subs ago, and I've got over 1,000 videos on the channel. And even in the last 2 years, I've reacted quite a bit of content. So I figure, you know what? It's time to do a top 20. And I've covered so much, and it's not only from this channel, but also when I first started doing reactions on the original Alan's Beer Sports and More, where I did beer reviews before I switched over to doing reactions. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a top 20. I would do an honorable mentions, but I don't really. 20 is already quite a high number, so we're gonna get right into it. Number 20, and it's what does it take to earn a Victoria Cross?
The Victoria Cross.
Beautiful metal, I have to say that. Very intricate. I love that. And now, for a lot of y'all, this might be a little bit low on the list, and I get it, because it was an amazing video. It was really, gives you an appreciation for what the people that have actually been awarded, the sacrifices they've made, often at the cost of their lives. What it exactly, it's one of those things where it was just an awesome thing to learn about. And for a lot of y'all, this will be too low, but I can't please everybody. And this is my top 20, my top 20 favorite things I've reacted to in the whole time that I've been reacting. So number 20, what does it take to earn a Victoria Cross? Now this, after number 20, might cause some of y'all to turn the top 20 list off, and hey, if you want to do that, that's your choice. And I completely get it, because it's going to seem a little bonkers, but Bandmade Domination, the live concert, this would have fit perfectly in like 2000s radio here in the U.S. Just the guitar and the drumming. The drumming's on, like, whoever that drummer is, man. I'm loving this whole thing so far. Performance they've got on their channel, it's just, number one, it's a bunch of pretty girls making music. I mean, it's kind of hard not to take and like that, right? And not only that, it makes killer rock music, but it's just being introduced to a different, the Japanese rock scene itself, and the fact that these girls, not only are they killing it, but the stage presence, the type playing, and everything else is just hard not liking. The energy as well, not only from the band as they're playing, but also the crowd. You can see that they feed off the energy of the crowd itself. And it was just really cool. One of those really cool videos, really cool things to experience for the first time through reacting, to be like, oh crap, I need to take and even broaden my horizons even further, even when it comes to stuff like music. And I've already got a pretty eclectic taste. I mean, the whole channel name and all that good stuff. At number 18, Jim Jeffries, taking an MD sufferer to a prostitute.
Dan's asked me to take him to a prostitute. I'm going to do it whether you like it or not, but I think as his brother, you should come along and help out. We're not doing it. And I went, why? And he went, it'll kill him. And I went...
About to say, he got muscle dystrophy. You'd have to take and bring the hooker to him. Oh my god. Like, this video was absolutely hysterically hilarious. For some folks, it might give them a little bit of pause, because, an MD sufferer, you're taking them to a prostitute, and all the moral semantics that go along with it. But just this whole telling of it was absolute just... It's hard not to laugh. I mean, if you don't laugh, then either your funny bone is broke, or you just have a bad sense of humor. And them's the rules. That's just how it works. So that's what comedy is, and that was definitely absolutely hilarious. Number 17. Now this, some of you that have been here for a long time, like going way back, you're gonna be like, holy crap. English Frankenstein, my live album reaction. This holds a little bit more personally, because my good buddy David actually asked me to take and do a reaction to this, and I was like, you know what, I'll take and do it live. And I had, I think, like 20 or 30 people show up and talk with me throughout the whole thing. I think the whole live stream only had like 160 views total by the time it was all said and done. But the ability to take and just not only listen to something that the stories, and that's the thing that a lot of people overlook, because a lot of people, oh, rap is crap, and it's like, no, there's a lot of bad music regardless of genre, and while rap might not be to your taste specifically, there are artists, and English Frank is one of them, who has the ability to tell a story. And the story is told on Frankenstein not only about stuff that he's experienced or things that happened by living a harder lifestyle, but also things that happened around him. Just create such an experience, and being able to take and listen to that storytelling that happens within it itself, it was like basically listening to a movie. On top of that, being able to take and actually sit there and take time and read through the comments as I'm taking and watching the stream and chit chat back and forth with people who are giving me little insights, not only on English Frank, but also the state of grime at the time there in the UK, and learning about his falling out and stuff. Like, it was a nice communal experience that to this day I still hold dear. At number 16, Al Murray, Neighbor Country, we defeated them.
Argentina 82, no help for no one else. And that, of course, was a war not for oil, but for penguins. Because we all know penguins are an essential ingredient in making Guinness, aren't they? Canada, yeah, Canada used to be part of the British Empire, which means they're an ally of ours. As you know, being an ally of ours counts as losing to us. Why else are the Canadians so miserable? Another one, please.
I would be remiss by leaving this one off. It's a bit low probably for a lot of you. To be honest, myself, it's kind of a bit low, but when making the top 20 list, I didn't see a way that I could put it higher. Just from the aspect of, while I enjoyed it, I definitely enjoyed reacting to this, and I had a good laugh at it, it would be based more on the merits of the views than it would my enjoyment of it, even though it was a memorable reaction. And it was really the impetus, kind of the impetus for this journey in and of itself. Now, I'd already been reacting to grime and UK hip-hop for over a year at this point. I'd looked at a Ralphie May video I'd never seen before. Somebody in the comments actually recommended this. And after that, with Al Murray, and be like, wait, I've been listening to UK music for 2 years now. And this cat, all of these rappers, they all take and sound different as far as when you either listen to their music, the accents they have, or some of the interviews, when they're talking to folks, their accents. Now, his sounds different as well. It led me to take a look at Accents video, which led me to look at some culture stuff as far as the UK is concerned, because once I started looking at the different accents within the UK itself, well, you kind of get interested, because we're all used to hearing Cockney, or, you know, the RP, or I say, yeah, receipt pronunciation, or however it's said, or Queen's English, but not a King's English. And so really it's the impetus for the journey that's gotten the channel to where it's at. So on that, maybe it should be higher, but for me, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the intelligence that was contained within it. Just off of view, not views, but the importance to the channel, it could be way higher. But number 16 is where I'm gonna have to have it. So now at number 15, this is, again, for those of you that have been with me for a long while, like going back to the Allen's Beer Sports and more before I switched over to, you know, right after I switched over to taking and doing reactions. You might take and remember this one. Wiley and Devlin, Holy Grind, bring him out. On a knife in your chest, in the foot, every day is heroin. Living like their death made it. Now you're lying in your bed, it's like, yo. Dude, he is absolutely just, he is so rapid fire with this. Breathe it, it's the liberty, street divinity. Me and Will's tyranny, and this one's willing me to rise like Pyrenees peaks, and I'm lyrically seeing the flow shift more than once a minute. Getting off like Dharma, or coming to kill it, a diagnoma. Dude, these guys are just, their ability in this is just absolutely They're off the charts, man. This is one that I have in a couple playlists on Spotify. I enjoyed the song that much. I think it's really good. And the play between the two, the bar trading, and just the absolute skill that's on display. It was such a treat. Such a treat. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things that normally I don't rewatch a video more than a time or two. I might like something, and if I really like it, I'll take and put it into a playlist. A lot of times after I watch a video, I'm done with the video, the song will go into a playlist, and I'll hear it in the playlist as I'm taking and doing whatever, either around the house, driving, or now at work. This is something I've watched numerous times. So for me, this is very much, or for me, it's personally, it's kind of, might be one of those ones that's kind of like the Al Murray. A little bit low, but there's so much good stuff that I've reacted to, kind of hard to put it any higher either. Number 14, Peter Kay, Misheard Lyrics.
I was singing Take That, Back for Good. Wash your back, wash your back, wash your back. Want your back? What's this? Want your back? I've been singing Wash Your Back for 15 years.
That's so relatable. Oh my God, I used to do I used to do karaoke like a lot. Not very good at it. It was always after some Jack Daniel's Courage, but I used to do karaoke, and there were songs I'd be like, oh, what do you know? Those were the lyrics. Holy shit, this one. This is one I've watched the video for reaction purposes, and I absolutely love, because look, if you watch more than one American Reacts channel, you notice, especially as they just get to starting, there's kind of a theme of the stuff that they kind of go through. And Peter Kay, Misheard Lyrics is normally one of the first videos, and it was, I think, the second, maybe third, I think maybe the second English comedian that I reacted to after Al Murray. And just the way that it was funny, because the songs, you don't realize how some things sound if they're misheard, and how also the power of suggestion, you might have heard it the correct way, but with the power of suggestion, now you hear what the misheard lyric is. And it's absolutely just hysterical. Absolutely loved it. I have more fun almost watching other people's reaction to it, because I want to see how they pick up on stuff, but also how much enjoyment they get out of it. But it's one I've watched personally more than a couple of times. So, yeah. So now, number 13, for a lot of y'all, this is going to be really low. And I would say I'm sorry, but I'm really not. This is one of those ones that, for me, I absolutely love it. And I couldn't imagine, because I've tried to get my wife to watch it with me. And it'll be something that once I'm completely done, I'll probably watch as long as they've got on Netflix. And we'll probably take and go out and buy seasons of it after they take it off of Netflix. Still Game. And I know, like I said, number 13 is low for a lot of y'all for Still Game. And I've got to start on season 7. And unfortunately I have to move it off platform. But the first 6 seasons are absolutely just comedy gold, man. It's hard not to take and watch it and enjoy it. It just is. And I can't really do a singular episode as one of my favorite reactions, but the series as a whole is one of the favorite things that I've reacted to this. Number 12. This is going to be another throwback for some of y'all. Wretch 3-2 and Avelinos, Fire in the Booth.
Made a lot of noise being silent. They labeled me remote, now I'm being scouted by Island.
Made a little noise being silent. Like how this one's starting out already.
Lately death's been getting ever so close. Feeling spirits while I'm driving, I should get me a ghost.
What? Really? Oh my God, this is going to be one of those awesome ones.
You've got a 2-1 and you ain't free to. You got to graduate before you pass Rex. We got off on...
My Lord. Just the absolute talent. The absolute talent. The play between those two was absolutely masterful. And for me personally, this is hella low. But again, this is one of those... Been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. Thousands of videos. So pairing even my favorites down to a top 20 and finding a position for them that not only I can feel comfortable with, but won't piss everybody off. Even though I know probably the top 10 people are like, what the hell is this? And it is what it is. But it was just starting that journey, and I decided really early on, because my buddy David, again, he got me into TT. He's got me following Liverpool, which I like watching Liverpool anyway, since he took and recommended I'd take and watch them when I'm able to, or if I'm able to catch the Red Men and their watch-alongs or their commentary as the games are going on. Anyways, but he's got me into so much stuff, and he's the one that took and recommended stuff like Low Key's Abomination, Akala Fire in the Booth, Low Key's Fire in the Booth, Mike Righteous Fire in the Booth, and some others that started me on the journey away from... It's one of the first times I realized that to stand out on YouTube, you have to do things that not everybody else is doing. There's reactors that had touched on stuff within the UK music scene, but I decided to take and go, okay, everybody's watching what Upchurch does, and I like Upchurch. Everybody's watching what Tom McDonald does. I like Tom McDonald. Adam Calhoun was starting to break out. The internet beef that was happening between rappers and stuff like, or not, the independent YouTube rap beef that was happening at the time. You had people like Crypt. He was just, this is going back a while, and Crypt was still, I think, just below 100K subscribers as a reactor. So was Knox Hill, all of them cats. And you had people like Art of Kicks and No Life Shack, the Matthews fam, Simba the God, and I think it was Simba as well. But there was a lot of reactors, and they're the ones that I had watched before I started reacting, that I enjoyed their reactions. What got me to switch over from doing beer reviews to reacting, because I enjoyed watching them so much. And they were all, and I noticed, like, it seemed like everybody reacted to all the same stuff. I wanted, some of these cats had touched on a couple of things that these artists had done, or some of the artists had done. I was like, well, I want to take and do a deeper dive, and that's exactly what I did. And this right here, the Wretch 3-2 and Avellino Fire in the Booth, I want to say about 2 months, 3 months in to actually react to music videos, I did their Fire in the Booth on the suggestions, not only in the comments of some of the other Fire in the Booths I had done, but also my buddies like, you really need to look at it. And it's just, it's one of my favorites. It's just such a killer. It's two artists that just top of their game, going back and forth and making something absolutely masterful. At number 11, so we're one away from top 10, Hala, Shakespeare. Now, this is one that I react to in a live stream that's been lost to time, thanks to the fact of, you know, copyrights and all that good stuff, and YouTube being like, nobody can view this because this song that you reacted to 3 days ago in this live stream, it's been blocked now. And so, this, you know, I probably deleted the stream or whatever, but it's one of those ones that it shows how the meter, the timing, even the structure for poetry and rap are so closely tied together. There's so many different, you can do so much as far as with verse, with, doesn't matter how you want to take and do it. Like, it's just no, I've always looked at rap as poetry to music. That's what I've always looked at it as. And it was, to me, more closely tied to actual poetry than what you'd hear even poetically done songs in pop or whatever other genre you want to listen to. Rap in and of itself, in my opinion, the way it's done, the meter, the way that you, not only the syllables and everything else lining up to take and not only meet the meter, the way they rhyme, the way everything lines up, it fits so perfectly. And the way Akala took and pointed all this out by using Shakespeare and examples within this was absolutely just fantastic. And it's one of my favorite videos. I've actually recommended not only the song, but his TED Talk on it. So, really, really one of my favorite things I've reacted. Number 10. So we're in the top 10 now. Funniest chants in England. What? Woo! Boy, if they chanted something like that in the stands over here about a player, oh dear God. Like, they would shut the match down probably and be like, they'd give a warning to all the fans when they tried like, holy crap.
He's smoking shit! Sky TV! He's smoking shit! Sky TV! He's smoking shit! Sky TV!
Now this one, it holds a special place. Not only is it hilarious, right? It's just absolutely, it's had me, oh my God, y'all are absolutely brutal over y'all's football chants. I couldn't imagine, you know, something like this breaking out in America on the stadiums, you know, at least not for too long before it's quieted or you get kicked out. But it's also my first video to hit over 1 million views. So it's only number 10, but I think what comes after this, some of y'all will be like, okay, I see it. At number 9, Dairy Girls. Now this is one that you're not, I might have a video or two, like bit reaction. I think I've got partial of, I think the final episode reaction on the channel. But this is a series that I reacted to from my Patreon, and it's one of my favorite things. I don't give a shit the platform that I've reacted to this. I keep begging my wife to please watch this. This is on Netflix. It's absolutely hysterical. Not only is it funny, but it's heartwarming, it's poignant, and it's also at times, it's just the fact they're able to take and tell, they're able to take and create a comedy that happens in time in Northern Ireland that they did with all of the violence, the threat of violence that hung around during the Troubles and stuff. It's, for me, that's one of the most masterful things, and the way that they portrayed these characters, nothing was so outlandish that it wouldn't be at least somewhat believable, but also just the everyday shenanigans, you know, just the shenanigans of growing up and with your friends while you're a teen, and some of the dumb stuff that teens get up to. And one of my favorite things I've ever even watched, much less reacted to. So number 9, Dairy Girls. Number 8, Monty Python Dead Parrot and Lumberjack Song.
Oh yes, the Norwegian Blue. What's wrong with it? I'll tell you what's wrong with it, my lad. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it. No, it's resting, look. Look, my lad, I know a dead parrot when I see...
Head sticking all the way out. It's resting.
It's stone dead. Now it's resting. All right then, if it's resting, I'll wake it up. Hello, Polly! I've got a nice fresh cuttlefish for you if you wake up, Mr. Polly Parrot. There he moved. No, he didn't. That was you pushing the cage. I didn't. Yes, you did.
There he moved.
I cut down trees, I skip and jump. I like to press wildflowers. I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars.
He cuts down trees, he skips and jumps. He likes to press wildflowers. He puts on women's clothing.
What? Puts on women's clothing and hangs out in bars? Do what? Oh my. I'd always took and watched Monty Python, like their Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and a couple other little bit things that I'd seen up here and there. I hadn't really watched any of the movies past Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but you see little bits and stuff like that. I always thought they were funny, you know, troupe or whatever, comedy troupe. This was absolutely hysterical. Maybe it should be a little bit higher than 8, but oh my God. Absolutely love it. Number 7, 2 Ronnies. 4 candles.
4 candles.
4 candles. Here you are. 4 candles.
No, 4 candles.
Well, there you are. 4 candles.
No, 4 candles. Handles for forks.
Oh, God. Handles for forks?
Got any plugs?
Plugs?
Yeah.
What kind of plugs?
A rubber one, bathroom.
size?
13 amp.
The electric plugs, the electric bathroom plugs, you call them.
Now this introduced me to the two Ronnies, and the wordplay on display in this, there's a good bit of it that I did catch, but there's also a whole lot of it that, there also a good bit of it that did take and go over my head. But the intent and the way the aggravation that Ronnie Barker's character was causing, and just that whole thing right there, and the miscommunication that's happening, absolutely hysterical. And I think every reactor that does American Reacts type stuff, or anybody that's going to take and react to British comedy that hasn't previously done it, if you're going to watch anything two Ronnies, start with Four Candles. I think either that or the Blackberry bit with the fruit. Those two, like, absolutely hysterical, and some of the best, I think, two best introductory videos for people wanting to take and get into looking at their stuff. Now this is going to surprise some folks. I think Chester P. Fire in the Streets.
To the last suppers, these brass knuckles will teach you to be sincere in the streets with the masked muggers. Now look, there's death wait in the system, is breathtaking, it's snap.
Alright, so I'm hearing the lyrics that this man's putting out. He's talking about brass knuckles will teach you respect on the streets, and he looks like an investment banker. But right before, as he's on a cold day before he goes to play some pool or goes to play some tennis or something like that. Potter Paper's kind of the same way. The way they look and what they rap about, completely different than what you have with a mental image when you see a picture.
Is snatching the breaths, waiting while making the next patron in line to regard Satan divine as the steps take him. Because living's just a game that we play with a death stake in. It's kind of
living is just a game we play with. Dude, I like. And this one is just absolute masterclass in rap posing as prose, with the pictures painted via the metaphors that were used in this. And it's just another fine example, but of using not only some high level metaphors and alliteration to paint a very vivid picture, but the delivery and the way it's done is absolutely just almost, it makes you appreciate folks like K Reno and Zero and others that do it like this. But Chester P put on a class on this one, and it was just absolutely outstanding. To this day, I think I've watched it probably 30 or 40 times since I reacted to it like 3-4 years ago. So yeah. Number 5, Akala, Fire in the Booth, Part 2.
Educating kids from the block, so far as I'm concerned. You gotta be a mug to not rate him. Own my own masters, still my own master. Novels and strips on the way. Rap is just a part of the gene.
Owns his own master, still his own master. He owns all his means of income, and he owns all his... Owning your masters as an artist, that's one of the big things.
About us is far more dangerous than putting us in council houses. So yeah, I criticize, but from a place of love, never, ever. Cause I think that I've become above every young bruv you wanna judge as a tug. It's me, man, that's a little guidance and love. So I think that you're the mug. And why be smug when it's an actual fact?
Now this one actually has gotten higher on the list for me, but it's only because of just, after rewatching his, I've probably rewatched all of his Fire in the Booth probably 4 or 5 times. This one, Part 2, I think I've probably rewatched it probably 10 or 12 times, and it's still I glean new stuff every time. Dude is just supremely talented. He's absolutely just the genius and the storytelling, and also but the lyrical ability to get points across in such a poetic way is just absolutely, and it's on, I think number 2 is probably, number 3 comes close, but number 2 I think probably, at least for me, just absolutely stunning. At number 4, Learning English with Ricky Gervais.
Friend Carl Pilkington. He is bold. He is bold. He has no hair. Carl Pilkington has no hair.
Yeah, I know. They can see I've got no hair.
No, no.
Well, what do they need to know that for? If they learn a language,
Yeah.
a bald head isn't that important. Teach them how to ask for bread or milk.
We'll get to that, but this is about...
Oh, Jesus Christ. It isn't important. It isn't important to teach them bread and milk.
Carl Pilkington
That look on his
has
face.
got a head like a fucking orange.
Right, I really don't know.
Absolutely hysterical. I don't care how many times I've watched it. I don't care how many times I've seen other people react to it. It's absolutely brilliant, number one. But number two, it's if you don't laugh. It's another one of those examples of if you don't laugh, there's something wrong with your funny bone. It's just that simple. Absolutely hysterical. And just the way Carl's interactions in this with Ricky, or Ricky's laugh, and just, oh my God, it's absolute comedy gold. Absolute comedy gold. So, and this is something I've probably watched. I think maybe Peter K. Dogging and maybe Dead Parrot Sketch are the only two things that come close in as far as the comedy stuff is concerned that I've watched as close to as much as I've watched Learning English with Ricky Gervais. Number 3. This is actually falling a spot from 2 years ago. Ghost of Grenfell by Low Key.
Rooms where love was made and unmade in a flash of the night. Rooms where memories drowned in fumes of poison.
From what I've read, it was apartment towers that took and burned down, and there were pre-existing conditions and concerns. Like, there was all kind of safety regulations that just were dismissed, and over 70 people died. So it was the worst worst residential fire, from what I read, in London since World War II.
Ghosts of Grenfell still calling for justice, not hear 'em scream. Please allow me to begin though. 1:30 a.m. Heard the shouting from my window. People crying in the street, watching the burning of their kinfolk. That every single person in that building was a hero. So don't judge our tired eyes in these trying times, cause we've been breathing in cyanide the entire night.
And this is, I don't think I've heard anything in his whole discography that I've listened to up to this point that I don't, even if I don't agree with it, I at least don't like the way it's presented, the way it's, the points brought, even if I disagree with them, because it's everything's done in such an intelligent way. And this right here on the tragedy of the fires at Grenfell Towers is just, you can't help but feel just absolute heartbreak listening to the lyrics. And if you watch the video as well, oh my God, it's just, it's one of the most impactful reactions I've done to date, just because of the story behind it, especially once you dig into it a bit, and the tragedy and the corruption and everything else is involved with it. And the fact to this day that nobody's been charged with anything absolutely just astounds me. Number 2. Now this, you won't find anything but clip reactions on the channel. Faulty Towers.
Oh, your horse, it wins. Manuel, you know nothing. You always say, Mr. Faulty, but I learn. What? I learn. No. I get better.
No, you don't understand.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do understand that.
You know nothing about the horse.
I know nothing about the horse.
Yes.
Which horse?
It'd be kind of hard to actually keep something under wraps if you keep getting asked questions. Somebody's bound to walk in on you.
Which horse? I know nothing.
My horse, nitwit.
Your horse, nitwit.
No.
I love, oh my God. This is another show. I'm going to have so many TV shows I'm going to be watching outside of... I don't really watch any TV anymore.
You remember I had some money yesterday? The money I won on the horse. Oh, I see. Yes. Tell Mrs. Richards. Tell her I had the money yesterday.
I know nothing.
Talk about a backfire from hell. Oh, crap. I know nothing. See, this, kids, is why you don't tell lies like this. Like, if you're gonna gamble, just let somebody know, even if it's gonna disappoint someone, because otherwise you could be in this kind of situation. Just saying.
What? I know nothing. Nothing. I forget everything. I know nothing.
No, you can tell her. You can tell her.
I cannot.
Yes.
No, I know nothing. I am from Barcelona.
I absolutely adore this show. Oh my God. And I think I've done one clip reaction to it on the channel, and it's because it is so highly protected by BBC. It's hard to get anything from the show onto YouTube. I've seen a lot of folks try to take and change to either flip the video to mirror it, or they take and put copyright stuff over top, or take and lighten it, or put fisheye on it. All kind of stuff. And it's normal, regular, you're not really gonna, it's gonna be entirely, if you get it, I applaud you. This show is an absolute just masterclass in comedy, and John Cleese as Basil Fawlty, and the neurotic nature and his bumbling and his failed schemes and the way he erupts, and just everything in this absolutely has it just in stitches. The entire time I took and reacted to this show. It's on Patreon. The first season, if I'm not mistaken, kind of lost just due to the fact of had a problem in Google Drive, and a lot of stuff got, for whatever reason, not there no more. No links or anything like that. So I'm going to have to go back and redo it at some point in time. But finally, at number one, and this is probably going to take and surprise those of you that didn't take and watch the first one, and for those of you that did watch the first one, over 1,000 videos and 112,000 subs, and views with 10 times the view count as this. But hell, there's videos I've reacted to with 100 times, 200, 300 times the view count of this. Lunar Sea, Fire in the Booth, Part 3.
You're talking cheap like TK Maxx. You're trying to be famous for doing nothing like DJ Khaled. You can't say we ain't.
Oh! Damn, trying to be famous for doing nothing like DJ Khaled. Already shots. Woohoo!
I'll take anything from bad and bougie to fat and moody. I need a girl that looks like Kali Uchis and fights like Amanda Nunes. Me and Kill Money making classic movies like Stanley Kubrick. I am feel like Alexander Usyk. You'll get beat till you're still and defenseless. You only move bricks cause you're a builder's apprentice. Perfect. Jump in your whip at the traffic lights when it's gone red. Hang you out your car window like a dog's head. Bang your face on every lamppost like a lost pet. Perfect. Was in the heat at the moment, just a hot sec. When I was broke, I was skinny, now I'm eating God. Me and Hash finger breaking bread, and when I'm feeding ducks. You're bad online, but you're not backing it though. Don't wanna see me in the flesh like a cancerous mole. If you get carried away, it'll be flat on a stretcher. I'm giving free ass whoopings. I'm an amateur wrestler, Hannibal.
Dude, this dude is just absolutely. Some of the references I'm not getting, but there's a lot of the metaphors and stuff that he's doing to this is just, they hit you and your brain digests it for a second. You're like, what?
And I'm not gonna start now. There's like 4 rappers in this country who are not shy. If I ain't in your top 5, you're jealous or you can't count. I stand out there in a room full of artists like a life model. I don't know how they're still sleeping, the mind boggles. This right can make any guy wobble if I put a little bit of lean into it like a Sprite bottle. I'm the best, so what if I sound biased? They don't know what they're in for, like prisoners with Alzheimer's.
One of my, it's my absolute favorite thing I've reacted to for the channel. And it's because not only was I going into it, I'd already just watched his, I'd been watched his battles and stuff like that he had done with folks back before he really got into the scene, really started going off as an artist. His Fire in the Boots Part 1 and 2 mug, Jesus swag. This right here and the punchlines and the metaphors and just the whole vibe and the energy and the, it's still one of my, it's still my favorite thing I've reacted. I've watched this. I've watched this. I know I watch it at least 3 times a month as it stands, and I have since I've reacted to it. I enjoy it that much. I absolutely love this video, and it's for that reason. It's my favorite thing I've reacted to date, because outside of Dairy Girls, Faulty Towers, Still Game, Dead Parrot, and some of the comedy stuff, like there's nothing. I haven't watched anything like that stuff. I could rewatch that many times probably, but there's nothing to this point that I've watched after I got done with the reaction as much as I've watched this. And I still to this day, I can't find it on Spotify to put in a playlist, because if I could, I would. I enjoy it that much. It's just, and it might just be due to naturally irreverent nature, the braggadocio, but the wordplay, the energy that he brought, the vibe of it, and everything was just absolutely on point, and it made it so enjoyable, because he does metaphor, especially the wordplay with the punchlines that he does. He's very much a punchline rapper. That probably comes from his battle rapping days. Second to none in my opinion. Like, he is just absolutely, he murders it. Absolutely murdered. He's got some of the best phrases I have ever heard. So there we have it. My top 20. Doing this, what, 4 or 5 years now? Reacting to music, or reacting to videos. I know it's probably going to take, and some of these are, y'all are probably going to be like, what, how the, what? If you've watched to this point, a lot of y'all are going to be like, I don't get it, but for me personally, these are, as far as 20 reactions I had to pick as my favorite I've done up to this point. These would be it. Number 1, same thing as 2 years ago. Lunar Sea, Fire in the Booth Part 3, and it might take and wind up staying my favorite. It's just, bro, it's a long time. You know how hard it is to try to think of 20 things that are your favorite things you've reacted to? Like this, I say that. There's quite a few memorable stuff that I probably could have put on here for honorable mentions list, but I just didn't want this to turn into a 3-hour video. As it stands right now, I've already got to take and download, or try to make sure I can download 20 clips from the for this to take and put up. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you haven't been around to take and watch some of the stuff, and you actually like some of the stuff, like the rap, the hip hop stuff I've reacted to, if you like that kind of stuff, you haven't seen the reactions, by all means go back and take a look. And if not, if there's still some stuff on here comedy wise, you're like, I didn't know he'd reacted to that, by all means go back to my back catalog. I got quite a few videos. Been doing it for a minute now. I can't wait to take at what the future holds. I absolutely still love doing this. I did have to take some time because I did get a little burnout there for a while, but I love doing this. I absolutely love doing reactions. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments where you think either I went wrong or what you would have had in certain places instead of what I had. Or tell me your favorite reactions of mine that you've seen me do. I love reading stuff like that. So, and I like taking and conversating back and forth with y'all on it. So, y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.